So in an effort to stop being so lazy, I started setting alarms early in the morning to try and get myself on some sort of a schedule. And it is now 2 p.m. and I still haven't gotten out of bed. So I'm gonna get up, take a shower, make some food, and we'll get into today's video. Okay, that's a little better. Still need a haircut though. So as you probably guessed from the title, today I'm going to be doing 4 things that I like and 4 things that I dislike about my 3.8 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Keep in mind these are in no particular order. These are just things that I either like or dislike about this car and reasons you should buy or not buy if that's an issue for you. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a judgment call for everyone. But me personally, 4 things that I enjoy and 4 things that I really don't like about this car. To start off with the things I love, I think number 1 is probably the sound. This car sounds really good. They sound really good stock, I think, personally. And then you throw an aftermarket exhaust, and I think these cars really shine. That, like I said, again, that's obviously a judgment call. Some people don't like them. Some people think these V6s sound really raspy and really bad, and I like that. So, I mean, again, that's teach their own. Number 2 is definitely the interior of this car. It's pretty clean. Like, for a cheap car, for a $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 car, I mean, on the top end, like, these cars are pretty clean. The navigation's nice, all the gauges are nice and backlit and clean, and the leather's nice, and I mean, there are a lot of cheap plastics and things you would expect from an entry-level sports car, but like I said, the leather and all the materials seem to have held up pretty well, so after a couple years I can't really complain about that. Number 3 is definitely the visibility. Every time anybody else that doesn't drive these cars gets in my car and drives it, they're like, whoa, like, you can really see everything, and you really can. It really is kind of a fishbowl. My A-pillars are really small. The back windows are like the perfect size for being able to see without having a blind spot. The visibility in this car is just really good. You know where you are in relation to everyone, and it's definitely really nice for daily driving. And then the 4th thing is definitely the power. The power in this car is very adequate, I guess I would say. Like, I don't really know how else to put it. It's a lot of fun, and the car definitely moves. It's not the fastest car you can buy, but I mean, it definitely is a lot of fun. And then starting off with the things I hate, these aren't necessarily particularly things that are like a huge turnoff for buying the car necessarily, but are just things that after 2+ years of owning it, I kind of don't like and seem to be an issue to me. Starting off with number 1 is the Hyundai stigma. You're gonna buy this car and people are gonna flame you for it being a Hyundai and it's a Korean car and whatever. And it is. I mean, it's a Korean car and it definitely shows in some aspects. But it's a fast car, it's a fun car, it has a lot of advantages, and you're not paying BMW money or Audi money or Lexus money or Infiniti money or any of those, because you're not paying for any name value, you're just simply paying for the car that you're buying, which in my opinion is a pretty good car. Number 2 are the creaks and rattles. This car creaks and makes noises a lot. And part of that is the coilovers are loud. But even before that, there are just a lot of chassis flex, and I have the automatic, the shift lever is kind of off. It isn't perfectly solid. I don't really know how to explain it. Some of the buttons feel a little bit not totally solid, not broken or horrible. But they definitely aren't Mercedes quality buttons and things of that nature. Number 3 is the aftermarket support. So the aftermarket for the 2.0 turbos is pretty good, pretty extensive. The 3.8s are pretty limited. Lately, 3.8 Performance has been releasing a lot of products for these cars to help make these cars put down a little bit of power. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a naturally aspirated car. It's a lot of money to put any sort of real power aside from forced induction. And then number 4 is probably back to the power again. I know I said it was one of the things that I loved, and I definitely do. I love this car, and it moves, and it's fun, and it's exciting and dramatic, but it isn't the fastest car you can buy. If you're coming from a 5.0 Mustang or a newer Camaro SS, you're probably going to be pretty disappointed. If this is a first car, or if maybe you came from, say, a Civic Si or a BRZ or something along those lines, then yeah, you're gonna have a great time in this car. Again, coming back though, the aftermarket support is fairly limited, so keep that in mind, at least power-wise. So yeah, those are 4 things I love and 4 things I don't like, I guess. Things that aren't necessarily positive about my car. So, I mean, as I said earlier, obviously these are all personal opinion, and you may not like the way it sounds. Again, these are all personal opinions that I have, so you may not agree with these. But after 2+ years of owning this car, I can definitely say it was a great purchase. And especially as a first car, this is one of the best first cars I think you could buy. So if you're in the market for a Genesis Coupe and you're not sure whether or not you should buy it, I suggest it. Test drive it, do your research, learn what you can about these cars, and make an educated decision for what you want and what you need. With that, I'm 3.8J, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace.